Yes friends, today I am taking my next prediction, that is prediction number 4. Okay, because some of the people have asked me, or okay, in the question queries, my colleagues, my friends, my students, number of people have again asked me that what is the actual time of exit of COVID-19. Okay, about COVID-19 I have just predicted in the prediction number 3, in which I talked about that what was the entry time, how the entry of any epidemic is possible, what is the condition for that. So that I have already discussed about entry and exit, but exit was not clear to the people, so that let me now further clarify this. Okay, for entry I have talked about it, what are the malefic conditions of the planets when this kind of activity can happen, this kind of epidemic can spread throughout the world. Okay, so that I have already talked about. Please see my prediction number 3, in which I have taken one by one all those, then I combined all the 3 predictions of mine, I think 3 or 4. Okay, continue 3 prediction number 3, A, B, C, like that. Okay, on all that complete one prediction also I have shown on the YouTube. Okay, uploaded upon the YouTube. So now this in prediction number 4. Now I'm taking this from next point of view. What is the next point of view? And I will compare them both. Okay, these 2 point of view from India. I mean Indian Independence Day, the horoscope of India Independence Day, when India became independent or India got independence. At that time, what was the horoscope that I have already talked about? Okay, given by Pandit Haridev Shastri Sharma Trivedi. Okay, so that was his name, very famous person in those days at the time of independence of India. Okay, so when India became independent, at that time Pandit Haridev Sharma Trivedi casted the horoscope, and according to that horoscope, what were the condition. And I'm not going to talk about what are the ominous points in this horoscope, because at the time of independence, as you know about, everyone knows about, because the people were went from one place to another place. Okay, from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India, and in between the number of people, lakhs of people were killed. Okay, innocent people were killed. What are the conditions in those days? The same condition, I mean, I'll just talk about this, but this condition, the same condition is nowadays, because Rahu and Ketu, in this case, this is Independence Day horoscope, India's horoscope, Independence Day horoscope. I'll talk about that, how that same kind of situation also appeared during this period, because these days also people transferred from, went from one place to another place. Number of people from one city, from one metro city went to the native places. Okay, from Maharashtra to Bihar, from Maharashtra to UP, all number of places. Okay, from Delhi to other the native places. So this is what transfer of the people. I mean, people migrated from one place to another place, to the native places. So this kind of activity also happened at the time of independence. Okay, so when India became independent, right at the time of independence, India, the position, how people migrated from one place to another place. Okay, from Pakistan to India, India to Pakistan, and a lot of people were killed during this period. When the people returned from Pakistan to India, number of people were killed. Indians didn't kill anybody. People who were going from India to Pakistan, nobody killed them. But people who came from Pakistan to India, number of them were killed. Okay, so this is how lakhs of people were killed. So that situation was very alarming. The same kind of situation happened here also. Again, what are the conditions? What are the Independence Day horoscope showing that kind of conflict in those days? And at the moment also, number of people have been killed, because of this epidemic. Now, what is the exit time I'm talking about? Nowadays, number of people, as I just told you about that, what the exit time when the Jupiter became direct, and other planets also become direct. Still, Mars is retrograded. Okay, what are the conditions of retrograde? I'll take one by one. Okay, then I'll talk about the same situation because before independence. Okay, before independence of India became independent. In those days, India was divided into a number of kingdoms. Right? During those days, what was the horoscope which was being dealt by Indian Vedic astrologers? So Vedic astrologers were using the horoscope with Capricorn ascendant, with Capricorn Lagna, Capricorn Makar Rasi in Lagna, right, or Capricorn in the Lagna. This horoscope with Capricorn Lagna was given by, or ascendant was given by Varahamihir, very famous astrologer come astronomer. Okay, when he was during the period of Megasthenes, etc. Megasthenes came to India, and he has talked about a lot of things about Varamihir. So Varamihir was a very good astrologer, very good astronomer. He has talked about a lot of things regarding the planetary conjunctions, right? And he is very famous person, very famous astrologer in those days. In the Ujjain he was staying at the in Madhya Pradesh nowadays, at Ujjain city. Okay, so during that period he was very famous astrologer, and he used to talk about India's conditions, or Indian kingdom's conditions, India's whatever killing of innocent people, any epidemic, etc. He was talking about using the horoscope with Capricorn ascendant. I have taken that also here. I'll talk about that, what the present situation, present transit time, and how the planetary conjunctions are these days in that horoscope with Capricorn Lagna. But Capricorn Lagna is also talking about the same kind of situation, right? Okay, both are showing that epidemic type of situation, right? And nowadays people are being treated. So number of patients is decreasing, or is going to be decreased. There is no doubt about this. As I told you that exit of COVID-19 will start from that period which I talked about, that when Jupiter became direct. Now Jupiter became direct from September. Let me talk about this here. 1409 September. I talked about to 2022. 2011 up to 20th November. Okay. So from 14th September last month, this is October. Today is 23rd October. I have taken this horoscope. Okay, I have taken the present transit of the planets, and that I'll talk about that how the present transit of the planets, okay, or today's transit of the planets is talking about what is the condition of that, and how the number of patients is going to be decreased, and when this kind of situation will come, that when people will be just feeling safe, or there is no epidemic in those days. So that kind of situation I'll talk about. Okay, so what is the exit time and how this exit of any epidemic is possible, what is the condition for that, I'll talk about them in detail. Okay, so please have the patience and just see. First, note down all these things, all the this present Vimshotri Dasha I talked about. Present Vimshotri Dasha. Of this Vimshotri Dasha or time period can be calculated when we know exact horoscope. This exact horoscope, this time period is based on the Independence Day's horoscope. Because Varahamihir's horoscope, when he casted it, when he framed that horoscope, we are not knowing with the time, date, or place of birth, maybe that Ujjain by there in those days, because he was staying in Ujjain, right, Madhya Pradesh. Now, but the problem is that what are the exact conditions of the planets in those days? Only we know that Capricorn is the ascendant. Capricorn 10th sign is in the ascendant. I have taken here. This is I have taken India's horoscope. Second, this is second condition. So let me take one by one. The first condition is according to the present day. Independence Day's horoscope. What is the Independence Day's horoscope talked about? What the conditions when India or we will feel safe, that yes, now number of people is being treated in large number, number of people have now, okay, a lot of people are being 83% or 80% up to 90% going to be is being treated. Okay, they are returning to their home, okay, after suffering for COVID-19, right? So this kind of situation is coming, but still the problem is there. In some places, people are patients are coming, or new patients are coming daily, regularly, who were not initially declared. Number of leaders are coming, but the problem is that position, that's very light position there still, because Mars is retrograded these days. When it will be direct, then the aspect, what is the aspect here? Now let me talk about. So please just first note down all these events. Let me just take this separately. And I'm not here, let me stay here, so stand here, so, and just note down the whole horoscope. every event of this, and I'll talk about one by one. Okay, okay. This is just a momentary thing. Now let me tell you, what is the position of the planets these days? Okay, and what is the condition nowadays? Now here this is the India's Independence Day's horoscope, which I have already talked about. Now see here, Rahu is exalted in the Lagna. Ketu is also exalted in the Lagna, also in the 7th house. So Rahu, Ketu, they are exalted position according to Parashar, Mahasi Parashar says that Mars Rahu is exalted in Taurus, okay, second sign, and Ketu is exalted in Scorpio. But according to other view, there is another, point of view of other rishis. Those rishis say that Mars, this Rahu is exalted in Gemini, and Ketu exalted in Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius 9th sign. So this is the difference. But they are still both Ketu, Rahu and Ketu. They are positive in these two axes. Taurus sign and Scorpio sign, as well as in Gemini and Sagittarius sign. So that is not the problem. I take always that this is the exaltation for Rahu, and this is Sagittarius is the exaltation for Ketu. That situation arrived here in June 2019, and I think 24th June I have talked about that. At that time the degrees of Mars, Rahu, Ketu and Saturn, they were just going to be equivalent or just equal degrees they were achieving. At that time this spread of COVID-19 happened, okay, or that occurred. After that this has spread all over the world. Now position is that now present situation is what, and when this will be out from this, or how this, I know that people will not forget this event, as people are still not forgetting the Independence Day's position, when India and Pakistan were divided at that time over the condition of the people. They were migrated from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India. Number of people, refugees came here in Delhi. Okay, number of people were sheltered here, and have a lot of talks with them, number of refugees from Pakistan to India, and they had a talk with me, and I have taught number of children of them. They were just talking about when I met their parents, the student parents, and they talked about their sufferings at the time of their parents, and when their parents with them came to India and Delhi, they were without any house, without anything. They were a lot of suffering by there initially, but after that they settled down. Now they are even government officials nowadays. Okay, their children are now prospering a lot. Now condition is this. So that kind of situation arrived in those days at the time of independence. What is the situation there, and what is the situation now? Now let me take the present situation, right, or epidemic situation that I have already talked about. That what was the entry point, or how this epidemic entered, was the situation when the epidemic type or disease or anything, or that is very ominous period or ominous time when that situation arrived, when Rahu, okay, with Mars and the Ketu with Saturn. This, okay, they are opposite to each other, and Mars aspect in Saturn aspect in Rahu, as well as Mars and Saturn both are inimical, right? Both are enemies to each other. One is neutral, other is enemy. So light enemy, or we can say that bitter enemy, but they are enemies. Whenever that situation arrived, whenever Mars aspect Saturn or Saturn aspect Mars, then that they are not, what you call, benefit to the living things. They are just going to kill, going to murder them, they are going to kill them. They are not, for living things they are very dangerous position. Their aspects are very, very dangerous. Because of aspect of Mars upon Saturn, Saturn upon Mars, the situation of killing of the innocent people just mostly happens. Okay, that kind of situation whenever arrives, that happens almost. So now that is the situation. Now come to the point that what is the situation here. So I have taken here, this is just already I have talked about what is Independence Day's horoscope. This is date 15/08/1947. Right, this date at night time. What is the night time? 00:15 minutes and 00 seconds. This I have taken time. This is time of birth. I have taken here time. Sorry, this is time here. So that I have taken here time. Okay, and this time which I have taken here 00 hours and 15 minutes only. 15 minutes 00 hours. This is 15 minutes and 00 hours. Okay, so this is time here. Time I have taken here, and this is date. This date, our place is this Delhi. So place is Delhi. So place Delhi, time 00 15 minutes and 00 seconds. And then 1508, 15th August 1947. The day was at night time. Okay, day was 15th of August, but at night time. Night time of 15th, 14th ending and starting of 15th. But night time. So that time was chosen by Pandit. I've already talked about his name. Pandit Haridev Sharma Trivedi, right? Haridev Shastri Sharma Trivedi. His name was this. Haridev Sharma Shastri Trivedi, right? So that was his surname. Two surnames were there, Sharma and Trivedi both. Right, so that is his name. Now come to the point. So this also was of that time, right? This is the Lavansh or Lavans of D9 chart. Now in D9 chart, whenever the position of any, for example, ascendant lord, which is Venus is here with Saturn, Venus together. Moon is also there, Mercury is there. So with Moon, so 5 planets are there. Even Sun is there. There are 5 planets here: Moon, Mercury, Saturn, Venus, Sun. When this kind of conjunction or combination or planets happens, then the problem is with Venus. If I take the Lagna lord, which is ascendant lord, right? And second lord is Mercury. So Mercury is with Sun here, right? Sun and Mercury friendly, undoubtedly. But Moon and Mercury enemical and friend. For Moon, Mercury is friend, but for Mercury, Moon is enemy. That is how situation is there. But Saturn here, Venus, they are friendly. Both are friendly. So, and whenever Moon is with Venus, right? And with number of planets are there, then position of that thing or that native will be improved upon. Okay, so lot of promotion, lot of things will be happening. That country, now this is country's horoscope, right? India's horoscope. India will be promoted, will get a lot of status. Even whatever the problems are, because this conjunction is between Rahu and Ketu. Some people say that this is what you call within the Rahu Ketu axis, all these Guru chant, this is known as Kalsarp yoga or something, but I do not consider Kalsarp yoga as a yoga. There is a struggle, undoubtedly struggle is there, but because of this struggle, promotions are also there. The reason is in the Navams, the position of Saturn and Venus both are friendly in Saturn's sign. Okay, Saturn is in own sign. Saturn is in his own sign. Venus is friendly with Saturn. So Saturn with Venus, so Venus is which is Lagna lord, is with friendly sign, friendly house. So that means improvement of the this native is there. Means country's improvement is being shown here. In friendly sign, lot of prosperity will be there. With Venus, Venus is with Saturn. Both are friendly sign. Friendly planets, and this is friendly sign. Saturn is in his own sign, right? So the improvement is there. So when in the once D9, when from the ascendant Lagna position of the planets is improving in the Lavan sign, in the Lavan chart, then the improvement of that native will be there. The improvement means position of the native will be improved. The native means the country, in this case India, will be improved because this is positive sign. Second thing is Mars here was in Mercury sign. Mercury is enemy to Mars, and for Mars Mercury is enemy, right? But for Mercury, Mars is neutral. So not a bitter enemy, but light enemy, or very little enemy, you may say. Okay, so enemy का sign is this. So Gemini is enemy का sign for Mars, but no problem because this is very light enemy, not bitter enemy. So, but that kind of situation is here. Now, present situation is what? Here Mars is in Pisces. Right? Mars is, this is the transit today, on 23rd August, 23rd October, today is 23rd October, right? 23rd October, where I have taken transit today. This is transit today, I have taken here, transit today. Transit means what the present moment of the planets. The present day, or today, Mars, Rahu is in Taurus sign, exalted as the native, this India Independence Day horoscope showing Rahu is in Taurus sign. Today also Rahu is in Taurus sign, Ketu is in Scorpio sign, Rahu Ketu axis in Taurus sign, Scorpio sign, undoubtedly. But Venus is debilitated. Here Venus is debilitated in Cancer sign, but its degree is, I think, crossed over. That degree is still not reached up to the, because whenever Venus is, and Venus is aspected by Mars also, so the Lagna Lord, here Mars and Venus both are neutral. Now in this case, Venus is being aspected by Mars, so this also shows that there is something, air formation, still condition is not improved, completely is not improved, right? When Venus will come to his own sign, the 6th house in the Libra sign, when Venus will come here, Venus will transit to the 7th sign, the Libra sign, which is its own sign. Then improvement of the condition of the patient will be improved. A lot of recovery will be there, or treatment of the patient will be there. Okay, so a lot of improvement will be there when Venus will come into its own sign. But still Venus is crossed over the, this debilitation degree. So what is debilitation degree for Venus? That Venus, if debilitation sign is being crossed upon, then there is improvement. So improvement there, but it is being aspected in Mars here. Mars in this situation, in this Pisces sign, is up to what period, up to what date, and when Mars is now still Mars is also aspecting this fourth aspect of Mars, because 1, 2, 3, 4. So Mars is aspecting the 2nd house here, because Mars is in Pisces here. From Pisces 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2nd house is being aspected by Mars, right? And due to its retrogression, Mars is also aspecting the previous house, means 10th house is also being aspected by Mars. Whenever retrogression is there of any planet, when planet is retrograde, it means Vakri. At the Vakri period, Mars or any planet is aspecting the previous house also. So Mars is aspecting the Kumbh Rasi also, the Aquarius sign is also. Means this 10th house is also being aspected. There is here also, because this is enemical sign, Saturn and Mars, enemical, not bitter enemy, but light enemy. Means Venus is for Saturn, Mars is enemy, but for Mars, Saturn is neutral. So both are bitter, not bitter enemy, but light enemy, but enemy is there. So they are enemical. So when Mars aspects the Aquarius sign, as well as Gemini also having not like bitter enemy, but light enemy. This is enemical sign. This is also enemical sign. So Mars is aspecting these two signs. 4th aspect, because Mars is having 3 aspects, 7th aspect, and it's because this is retrogression. Now in this case, because of retrogression, the planets are having double aspects. Whatever initially they were aspecting, there are 3 aspects of Mars: 4th aspect, 8th aspect, 7th aspect. So this Mars is aspecting this Venus also, 7th aspect, and this 8th aspect, Libra sign, which is the disease house. The 6th house is known as disease house. Mars is aspecting 7th house also. In this case, the 6th house also, 7th sign. So 6th house also, Mars aspecting. It means 6th house is for disease. Here still diseases are there. This disease is not so much improved upon, but still, reason is why improving? Because Mars and Venus both are exchanging the houses. So this is known as debilitation is cancelled. Debilitation of Venus is being cancelled. Why? There is exchange ratio. This is known as exchange ratio. Why? Because Venus is in Mercury sign. This is Virgo sign. Virgo sign is of Mercury. So Venus is placed in Mercury sign, 6th sign, means Virgo sign of Kanya Rasi, and Mercury is in Tulla Rasi or Libra sign, 7th sign. 7th sign and 6th sign, they are having their owners replaced with each other. I am sitting in your house, or you are sitting in my house. This is known as exchanger of yoga. Why? Because Venus is in Mercury sign and Mercury is in Venus sign. So both are having exchanger of yoga. So this is debilitation is cancelled. So we cannot say that Venus is going to be is debilitated because debilitation is being cancelled. Okay, this is known as Niche Bangraj yoga or debilitation is cancelled. But still Mars is aspecting Venus, but Venus and Mars both are neutral. This is not so much animical, but still Mars aspect on Venus is still there. So this is a bit, bit influenced, right, or bit animical is there. So that means even if it is neutral, Mars aspecting this, Mercury is also aspecting because Mercury is retrograded here. Mercury is aspecting its own sign. That means that is Niche Bangraj yoga because exchange of place is there, exchange of houses is there by Venus and Mercury. Okay, this is exchange of yoga. Because of that, this Niche Bangraj is there. So Lagna is being protected by Venus because Venus is still exalted. Exaltation is there because Niche Bangraj is cancelled or debilitation is cancelled. So in this way, Lagna is safe. Rahu is also exalted in the Lagna. Rahu and Venus both are friend. They say that why Rahu and Venus are friend? Because Rahu is known as disciple of Venus. Venus is Shukracharya or Shukra. Rahu is a Rakshas demon. Demon is a disciple of Venus. Okay, Venus is known as guru or teacher of the demons. And Rahu is here. Venus is Venus is friend of Rahu. And Rahu is in exaltation Lagna. So Lagna is being protected. But even then, because Venus is in this case, Niche Bangraj yoga, niche is there, still debilitation is there, but debilitation is cancelled. But that's a bit affliction is there. We can say a bit affliction. We cannot say that debilitation is cancelled, so because of that nothing will happen. But still, when we say that somebody is fallen into a pit, right, and in that pit he has found something, gold coin or something. He has obtained a gold coin in the pit, right? A person fell into a well. And in the well was dried, but when he went there in the well, he got something golden, coin or etc. He achieved something positive. This is what the situation is here. In Venus or any planet is debilitated and debilitation is cancelled. That situation arises. Even it will be afflicted, but that affliction will give fruits will be positive. That affliction gives its benefit into return. That is what debilitation is given. Right? So this debilitation is cancelled. Now Ketu both are exalted and exalted. Now this Mars is because of Mars only. Mars is retrograded these days. Because of this retrogradation, and still Mars is aspecting second house. Second house is your family, close family. Means if country's horoscope is there, this is country's horoscope. And this second house, which is having Mars here, and Mars is still aspecting the same kind of situation, which is still there. For here, at the independence time, Mars was in the second house, okay, in Gemini, which is Mercury sign. Okay, Mercury and Gemini both are not bitter enemy, but enemy. So this enemical sign, Mars is there. Because of that, innocent were killed at the time of Independence Day. When India became independent, number of innocent citizens of India were killed during migration from India to Pakistan to India. So this is due to Mars affliction here, and Saturn is in this situation. Saturn is aspecting his own sign. Saturn is yoga planet, so it's very beneficial for the Lagna undoubtedly because this is with Lagna Lord also, and this improvement is there. So from that recovery was there. Recovery is possible or was possible in those days. Similarly here, recovery is possible. Why reason? The reason is Saturn is still in its own sign, in Capricorn. And Saturn is running these days direct motion, not retrograde motion, but direct motion. So Saturn is in these days in its own sign. Okay. So for ascendant it is positive because Saturn is yoga planet, is lord of central position and Trikona position. When any planet is yoga, that is, it is owning the two houses, a central position and one Trikona position. For example, fifth lord, the fifth lord and fourth lord, fifth lord and Lagna lord. Yes, friends. So I just talk about that why Saturn is your Karak. Your Karak was very positive planet for this. For when Saturn's condition will come. Now these days Saturn is in its own sign. Is your Karak planet in 9th house that's come here. Okay, and this is Lord of 10th also. So because of that, Saturn is very positive for this ascendant. For India's position will be improved upon regularly daily. There is no doubt about this because Saturn is very positive. Now when Saturn will conjuncted with Jupiter. Now for Jupiter, Capricorn sign is debilitation sign again. Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn. Okay, in 10th sign, Jupiter is debilitated. But debilitation is cancelled, reason will be cancelled. Reason is with Saturn. Saturn is the lord of that house, that sign. So Capricorn is lorded by Saturn, and Jupiter will go with Saturn. Okay, when this situation will come from, it will come from 21st level, this 21, right? This is from 21 November, 21st November next month. From 21st November 2020 to 0504 2021, Jupiter will be in Capricorn. Then it will be direct, right? It will direct with Saturn here. So this is for how many months here? 5-6 months, and after that Saturn will, or Jupiter will become retrograded. Because that from Sun it will be in 5th house, 6th house, or 7th or 8th house. Then any outer planet is retrograded. So the condition of retrogradation that I have already talked about, that is Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn. These three planets are known as outer planets. So they are away from Earth, and between Earth and Sun, these planets are not coming. Only Mercury and Venus are between Sun and Earth. So Venus and Mercury, they are known as interior planets, and Mars, then Jupiter, after that Saturn. Saturn is the farthest planet. So these three planets are away from Earth, not between Sun and Earth, but away from Earth. They are outer planets. And these three outer planets are retrograded. Whenever they come in the 5th house, 6th house, 7th house, 8th house, these three houses, these four houses, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, right? From 120 degree to 240 degree. For 120 degree, 34 is 120. That means for four houses, and they are in four houses, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, from Sun, then they are retrograded. Okay, so their retrogradation of Mercury, it starts when they are in the 5th house, 6th house, 7th house, 8th house, from the Sun, right? Whenever Sun comes near them, then their retrogradation is cancelled. Okay, or when from Sun's distance, or Sun's, these planets are away from at angle 120 degree to 240 degree. Away from 120 degree means after four houses are completed, 30 degree plus 30 degree plus 30 degree, four houses, 120 degree, then it enters into 5th house, right? 120 degree away to 240 degree. That means for 120 degree ahead, these three planets are retrograded from Sun. So this position of this in this house in transit, this transit, Saturn is today Saturn is there. Saturn will remain here up to I think 22nd May 2022, right? 2022, right? 2022. Saturn will be in the Capricorn, right? But up to that time, Jupiter will come with Saturn and then will go to another house. For Saturn, Jupiter remains in one sign for 1 year. It may be retrograde, will come to the previous house, now previous sign, then will go to the same sign, and in this sign, average 1 year it remains, right? Then Jupiter will remain here with Saturn for 1 year. Now what is that situation? Now let me talk about that, how the further improvement is being shown. Okay, so nowadays Jupiter is running direct. Jupiter is direct, undoubtedly. So in direct position, Jupiter is in the Sagittarius. This is Sagittarius sign. This is present day situation of these planets, right? Now in this present day situation of the planets, Jupiter is in the Sagittarius sign, which is its own sign, and it is up to 20th of November next month, right? In this own sign. Now from this own sign, Jupiter is aspecting the second house, of this Independence Day horoscope. Independence Day horoscope, the Gemini sign is being aspected by Jupiter. This is being protected, but Mars is also aspecting this house. That is a bit negative, but Jupiter is aspecting. So, recovery is shown. Enemical is there still. Disease is there. Disease is not removed still, but recovery is being shown by Jupiter's aspect. Mars is showing some enemical or some disease is still shown by Mars. Mars is aspecting this house. Okay, when Mars will come in the Aries sign, 12th house, then Mars is in own sign. Aries sign is Mars' own sign. When Mars will come from the Pisces sign to Aries sign, and when this will happen, let me take the situation. This is the situation. This is the Mars. Mars is retrograded from 5th October this month. It started Mars in the retrogression. It started from 5th October 2020 to 14th November next month up to 14th November. Mars will be retrograded in Pisces sign. In this Pisces sign, Mars will be retrograded up to 14th of November next month. Right? Up to this period, simple improvement will be there because Jupiter is also in this sign, Sagittarius sign, up to 20th of November. And Mars is up to 14th November, which is just 6 days before. So before 6 days, Mars will be then direct. When Mars becomes direct, then its aspect is still there on this. It's not aspect in the previous half in this Aries sign, this Aquarius sign, Kumbh Rasi. It is not aspected by Mars. Aquarius sign is not aspected after that by Mars. Okay, so this 10th house will be improved upon. Means 10th house is shown for profession house or governmental house, etc. The government recurrence will be there and improvement will be there. Only second house for people's still position will be not so much improved upon because Jupiter is still aspect. When Mars is direct in that direction or direct motion of the Mars will start from 15th November 2020 to 24th December 2020. 24th December means for 1 month Mars will remain in this house. Up to that period, 24th of December 2020, this disease still will be there. Will not be completely removed, but is still being indicated because Mars is aspecting. Mars from this 4th aspect, 1, 2, 3, 4th. Mars is having 3 aspects, 4th aspect, 8th aspect, 7th aspect. 7th house is being aspected by Mars, 4th house is being aspected by Mars, and this 8th house, 7th, 8th, these are 3 aspects of Mars. But when Mars is retrograded, any planet retrograded, it starts aspecting the previous house also. This house is aspected, and from this is being aspected. From this house if it is there, then Lagna is also aspected. So at the moment Mars is aspecting Lagna also. This Taurus sign also is being aspected. Rahu is being aspected by Mars still. We still this disease because of this Mars aspect from this Kumbh Rasi. And Mars is aspecting this sign. Suppose Mars is situated here in the Aquarius sign, in the 10th house. From 10th house it will aspect the Lagna also. So this aspect is still influencing the Lagna, means Taurus sign. Rahu is being aspected by Mars, right? In this way, this situation is still continuing. The disease is not completely removed, will remain still. And when Mars will be direct, one thing, then it will not aspect the Lagna. It will aspect only Gemini sign, 2nd house. So a small condition, improvement will be there, but still the disease will be there because still Mars is aspecting the 2nd house, which is citizens' house. 2nd is close family. For country, the citizens are their close family. So this 2nd house is being aspected by Mars. It will be aspected by Mars up to 25th. That is, Mars is here in the Pisces sign up to 24th of December. 24th of December 2020. In December, ending of this year, 24th of December. from 25th of December, okay, 25th of December this year, 2020, the Mars will come in the Aries sign, in 12th house. And Mars will transit, the Mars transit is still very, negative here, but when it will be positive, then Mars will come in the 12th house, which is his own sign, one thing, then it will not aspect second house, it will aspect then third house, which is the debilitation sign. This Cancer sign is debilitation sign for Mars. This third house will be debilitated. It will be enemical to its younger brother. What is younger brother? We can say this enemy's country nowadays, because sister cities for this country, for India, is Pakistan and Bangladesh. They are sister cities of younger brothers, you may say. For them it will be negative in those days. It will be negative or enemical to his close Sahodaras. Sahodaras means close younger brothers means. For mostly younger brothers, for that Mars will be aspecting from this Aries sign 12th house, 1, 2, 3, 4th aspect will be there. In those days that will be there. But improvements in India's condition or India's patient's condition will be from 25th December, right, 2020 will continue, right? But in those days, Jupiter will also come with Saturn. Now when Jupiter will come in with Saturn, 21st November 2022, 0504, right? 04 means April. 25th of April up to 5th of April 2021, Jupiter will be direct here with Saturn. That Saturn and Jupiter both are considered good because they are neutral to each other, not inimical but neutral, right? And position of Saturn and Jupiter is considered good in some houses. Now this is 9th house. 9th house is positive because it's Saturn's own house, right? Saturn is being positively influenced by Jupiter because both are neutral. So we cannot say that is inimical, both are neutral. So Jupiter will come with Saturn here on 21st of November 2022, 0504 2021 in Capricorn. It will be direct. Okay, so Mars, Jupiter will be direct up to 5th of April 2021. Okay, so from, you can say 21st November, when Jupiter will come here with Saturn, Jupiter will be debilitated, but debilitation of Jupiter will be cancelled. Reason is, it is sitting with Saturn. Saturn is the lord of this debilitation sign. Jupiter is debilitated in Capricorn, and Capricorn's lord is Saturn. Saturn will cancel this debilitation of Jupiter. Okay, when debilitation is cancelled, when this combination or this conjunction will be there of Saturn and Jupiter, then we say that when debilitation, because of debilitation, some negative thing will happen, but the negative sign, negative thing will give positive thing. Result will be positive. Okay, the combination of this will influence this horoscope, or this will, from this it will aspect the Lagna also. Jupiter will aspect the Lagna ascendant also. Okay, now in this case Jupiter and Venus, one is neutral, other is enemy, so bit little enemies. It will aspect the Lagna also. It is aspect in 7th house. It is exaltation sign here. Third house will be objected. A lot of efforts will be done in those days. Okay, and Jupiter will come here in shut with Saturn. So when Jupiter will conjunct with Saturn on 21st of November next month. Okay, and in this sign, in this Capricorn, Jupiter will remain up to this direct position. It will remain for 1 year in this sign, but up to this 5th of April 2021, Jupiter will be direct. Means its affliction is not completely there. I mean, it will be direct. Will have a lot of force and a lot of positive things will be there. It is still not retrograded. Now retrogradation will start after that. 5th of April 2021 to different dates, means next day, that I'll take later. Okay, so this prediction of mine, fourth prediction, this is fourth prediction in which I'm talking about that what is the condition of the present day planets or planets present motion or movement is what is transit of the planets of today. And according to that transit of the planets, Now still Mars is influencing the second house. Mars is inimical to this house. Okay, or Mars, because of Mars, that retrogression is there, Mars is still there in Pisces sign, and because of that it is aspect in this, even sixth house is being aspected because eighth aspect is there. When sixth house is being aspected by Mars, okay, in that situation, sixth house is being influenced upon. Sun is still there, Sun is, okay, here Sun is in debilitation sign here. This Sun is in debilitation, or Mercury is retrograde. Okay, so this Sun in the retrogression sign, Sun is debilitated in the liberal sign. Sun is debilitated. Now this debilitation, because of this debilitation, sixth house is still diseased. It is not completely removed, right? So disease is still there. But Sun is debilitated here. Mars is aspecting this house. Two negative things are there. Okay, Mercury and Venus both are having their positive aspect to each other in this case. So positive is there, but double negative is there. So still disease is there. Okay, disease is still not completely removed. Sometimes it is coming up, sometimes it is going up, going down, coming up, going down. This kind of situation is still happening. The reason is the sixth house, which is of disease. Sixth house is of enemies and disease. Okay, the sixth house is being, here Sun is debilitated. Okay, debilitation of any planet or lot of this house is being debilitated. For example, Venus is debilitated here. Sixth house is being improved upon. That was undoubtedly sixth house is debilitated, good thing. But because of Sun is here in the debilitation sign, Sun is also debilitated. Because of this, disease is still present. Right? Mars is also aspecting the eighth aspect, so still disease is positive or is there and completely not removed. Then Mars will come in the Aries sign. Jupiter will come here. Okay, so then Jupiter is aspecting the third house. Lot of efforts will be there because in this case, in Cancer sign Jupiter is what you call exalted, right? In Capricorn it is debilitated, but debilitation will be cancelled. So a lot of positive things will happen during this period. Invention of this vaccine is possible from 21st. I told you that 21st up to 21st November it is not possible because Jupiter is aspected third house, Jupiter in the ninth house, in the eighth house also. Eighth house is of discoveries, etc. Hidden things are coming out. So if up to 21st November, if vaccine is not possible, this is positive, which is possible or will be possible, because up to that period, even Mars is aspecting the fourth house. This Gemini sign is with fourth aspect, second house. Jupiter is also aspecting, but Jupiter is without any negative aspect upon it. Jupiter is very positive. 21st of November, 20th of November, Jupiter is very positive. It is direct. These days direct it is running, and because of that, invention is possible. Invention of vaccine is possible, which I have already clarified. But nowadays, again, I am just reiterating this, that this is possible or may be possible here. If that is not possible during this period, then most probably it will be possible when Jupiter will conjunct with Saturn. Debilitation will be there of Jupiter, but that debilitation is cancelled. So, as I told you that when debilitation is cancelled, when Nichvang Raj Yoga is there, because of that Nichvang Raj Yoga, activity will happen, some negative thing will happen, but negative thing will give positive results. Whatever is positive things, that positive result will be invention of vaccine is possible, or it may be arranged by hook and crook method or this and that. It may come from other countries or whatever. The possibility is there. Okay, so up to 21st November it is possible because these days Jupiter is running its own sign, is direct in the own sign. It is in 8th house, which is of hidden things are coming, secrets are coming out. The secrets of this hidden thing can be invented something. Okay, so vaccine can be invented in this period. This possibility is there. Now in the third lecture series, now I'll continue with what is the Varamiyar's horoscope says. Varamiyar's India's horoscope. For those, now let me talk about something about Varamiyar. So this possibility of exit of COVID-19 is going on. I mean, it's being pursued upon by the people because these positive signs are there, some negative ones are there still. Okay, so disease is not completely removed. For the complete removal of this possible, because this Saturn, okay, Saturn is in own sign, very positive. Okay, is the Lord of 10th house, Lord of this one, 9th house also. So from Destiny's house is very powerful these days. When Jupiter will come in the, sorry, in the 9th house with Saturn, Jupiter will be directed, but position of Saturn will be further improved upon, because one benefic sign or benefic planet has come with another planet which is neutral to this, but still it is influencing this house positively. Reason is it is also aspecting the 3rd house. 3rd house, Jupiter is exalted in the 3rd house. In this case, Cancer sign is being aspected by Jupiter, so that sign is being exalted. For example, in this Cancer sign, Mars is debilitated. When Mars is here and Jupiter is aspecting this Cancer sign, then the debilitation of the Mars will be cancelled. That I have seen in my own life. For this, whenever Mars is debilitated, this is the Lord of my 4th house, right? And that 4th house Lord is being debilitated, then accident or something, vehicular accident, and these kind of activities can happen. But I have seen that whenever Jupiter is aspecting the Cancer sign, where Mars is situated here, Mars is debilitated undoubtedly. If Jupiter is aspecting this Cancer sign also, then the debilitation is cancelled. And I have seen that nothing happened during that period. Number of years has, I have seen this activity, that whenever Jupiter aspects Cancer sign and Mars is posited in this Cancer sign, Mars is debilitated in Cancer sign. But when Jupiter aspects this house, Jupiter in Cancer sign is exalted. The cancellation of debilitation of Mars is possible, and because of that, Mars is exalted. Cancellation means Mars exalted. That cancellation of debilitation possible at that situation. The negative thing will not happen. That I have seen in my own life. Right? This is how debilitation works. Okay, so that negative thing which happens usually if debilitation comes out to a planet, and that if debilitation is cancelled, then that negative thing or that bad activity will not happen if it is being cancelled. That is how one example I have given you of my own life. But whenever I see this kind of situation, the Mars is debilitated in this house, and Mars is my 4th Lord. Okay, and when 4th Lord is debilitated, I have found that whenever this kind of situation happens yearly, then accidents, something will happen with my vehicle or with me. Okay, that I have seen number of times. But whenever Jupiter aspects this Cancer sign and Mars is situated there, Mars is debilitated here, and Jupiter is aspecting this house, then cancellation of Mars is cancelled, and that kind of bad activity doesn't happen with me. So similarly, cancellation of any debilitation of any planet, this is the result. Positive result will come out. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad thing will happen. That is how cancellation will happen. Now continue. Next, to these days, when Mars is retrograde, Mars is aspecting 2nd house, Mars is aspecting disease house also. But disease house, Sun is debilitated here. But Venus is a Lord of 6th house, and the 5th house Lord is Mercury. Both are exchanging these two houses. There is exchange Rajya between them. So this disease house is protected, but still is being malefically aspected by Sun as well as Mars. Okay, so two double negative and double positive. Usually Venus is Lord of this, and Mercury is also here. Both are exchanging their houses. That means Rajya is there. This is how the negative thing there, but recovery is still there. Both negative, positive, both things are there. Okay, so disease is there, recovery is still possible. Is there. Continuously, more treatments are coming out, or patient number is being decreased these days. Regularly, it is being decreased. Reason is all these transit of the planets. Now, period is also very important. As I told you that whenever prediction happens, or prediction we have to talk about in Vedic astrology, 3 things are possible. One thing is the promise of the planets. Planets are promising something to the house, so that is one important thing. Second thing is present day transit. As present day transit horoscope I have framed here. What is the condition of the planets these days? That is being shown here, right? This is second thing. Third thing is the time period. What is the time period running? What is regular time period here? These days the moon is, if I take Independence Day's horoscope, then moon is moon period is running. Moon is running for 10 years from 15 to 25. That are written down here. Moon period will be 1906, 19 June 2015. It is started for 10 years. This is known as Mahadasha. Major period of moon is running for 10 years. 1906, 2015 to 1806, 2025. Up to 25. Moon period Mahadasha is running. Okay, and then Mars 7 years will come. That will be up to 32. Rahu, then for 18 years Rahu period will come. So for 18 years, 32 plus 18, 50, and from 50 Jupiter 16 years will come then Mahadasha. So from 1906 2050 to 2066 for 16 years. So up to 66 Jupiter period will be there, Mahadasha. Then Saturn 19 years will come, and that will be last up to 2085. These are the Mahadasha will run. After Saturn, then Mercury will be there. After Mercury, Ketu will be there, Venus will be there. In this way, then Sun will be there. So in this way, the periods are being shown. Now come to the next one. The present day position of the planet, present day time period. This is under Moon, Saturn, Mahadasha. This is Mahadasha, Antardasha Saturn, Pratinadasha Mars, Pratintardasha, Sukshmadasha Mercury, and Pranadasha of Jupiter. So today's position is the moon period, because moon is with Lagna Lord here, be sitting with Venus in the promise is there, because with Venus, Lagna Lord, moon is there, both are neutral. Okay, but both moon and Venus are neutral. And Saturn is there. Saturn is also neutral to moon. Right? Moon is not having any enemy, neutral. Mars is also there. Mars is friendly to moon, but Mercury is enemy to. Moon is not having any enemy, but Mercury is having moon as enemy. So we may say this is bit enemy, because neutral and enemy are bit enemical. But Jupiter is friendly to moon. So far as these three planets are positive, Jupiter, Mars, Moon, they are friendly. But Saturn is very positive for this horoscope, because this is a eukaryotic planet. Mercury is also friendly with Saturn. So these two are positive. Still, we can say that complex is there. The competition is there. Negative, positive, both are there. Okay, we cannot say that still positive sign is there. Then, for the positive date will start from when? This is the period. Moon, Saturn, Mars, Venus. Whenever Lagna Lord comes, the period becomes positive. This is Venus period from 27th of October, this coming month. Today is 23rd. It's from 27th October, okay, 2022, 1st of November. These 4 days will be very good, right? But this is October 31st, and then up to 1st of November 2020. These 4 or 5 days will be very good. A lot of recovery will be there. Okay, so number of patients will be cured. Number of patients cured will be enlarged during this period, 27 to 1st of November, 27 October to 1st of November. These 6, how many days? 27 to 4 or 5 days. So during these 5 days, you will find that a lot of recovery will be there. Okay? Patient will be improved. Now, still, because this moon period is running, so no problem. But moon is with Lagna Lord. Okay, so that is no problem. Then sun will come after Venus, under the moon, Saturn, Mars. Sun period will be there from 3/11/22. Sun is here, 5th lord of this. According to this, Independence Day horoscope that I am just telling you about. This is very positive. Even Sun is positive because this is 4th lord. Bit negative, but positive because it's the enemy to Lagna Lord. But 4th lord it is. From 4th lord, as I have told you about that, good event happens in the end, but initially it is negative, but it's positive will be there. Really will be positive. And finally, okay, in the ending. Then, now, friend, let me talk about what is Varamihar theory. Now, Varamihar The Varamir is a famous astronomer, astrologer of India. He was during the 1st or 2nd century, or maybe in the 3rd or 4th century. The day I'm not remembering, but initially in the beginning of the Christian era, right? And when Megasthenes came to India, I think 6th, 7th century, in the 2nd or 3rd century, before Christ or after the Christ, Megasthenes came to India. Megasthenes was a Greek traveler. Okay, from Greek he was a Greek. Came from Greek, right? So he was a Greek. That person has written his book Indica. In that Indica, I have found in history. I have studied history or Indian history. The Indian history book, I have found that book in the library, Delhi Public Library. Indica, Megasthenes Indica, very famous. He talked about Varamir a lot. He talked about Varamir in a very positive sense. But I know that in the Greek, these Megasthenes and other people took astrology or astrological things to Greek. Okay, to Greece. So that Greece or these Greek people, they came to India, and from India he has talked about a lot regarding Varamir. Varamir's son Perseus is also very famous astrologer, because their books are very famous in astrology. This Varamir's Brahsanhita and Perseus Horas are very famous books. And if one wants to study about astronomical things, the basic mathematical things or astrology as well, then go through Varamir. Varamir was a very good astrologer, good astronomer, and that person has taken Capricorn for India. Capricorn ascendant or Lagna, the horoscope of Capricorn Lagna, to describe India's conditions, India's problems, India's positive things, negative things, all whenever the transit of the planets happens. Now I don't know that what the date when he framed this horoscope or what the time, so that we cannot say, but present day situation is what? What is the present day transit of the planets in this horoscope? Okay, having 10th sign in the ascendant in the Lagna. So this Lagna is ascendant is Capricorn here. Okay, Makar Rasi in the Lagna. With Makar Rasi or with Capricorn sign in the ascendant, Varamir has described India's condition. Okay, before independence, this horoscope was being described for India, being taken for Indian conditions or India's position. What is the position today's condition? I mean, today's transit, what is shown in this previous Varamir's horoscope, that also shows conditions, positive, negative things. Reason is, and when in the Lagna, Saturn is there in its own sign. Saturn is here in its own sign with the moon, which was here 10th sign, moon and Saturn. This transit I have taken here. Transit means present day situation. What is the present day condition of the planets, in which signs they are running these days. This is what we have taken here. So Saturn is in own sign. Lagna Lord is Saturn here. Very positive. Is with moon. Moon is also neutral to Saturn, no doubt. So it's also giving positive thing. Then Sun is debilitated in 10th house, but debilitation. Okay, and Mars is aspecting Saturn. Again the same situation, 10th house is being aspected Mars also. So with Mercury and Venus both are exchanging their houses, right? Now but Saturn is the Lagna Lord. So this is positive because Saturn is unafflicted in this case. Saturn is with moon undoubtedly. But Venus and Saturn, 9th house and 10th house, both are being exchanged. Rajyo is being formed. So and Mercury is there in the 10th house. 10th house is being afflicted. Means governmental house is being afflicted, but that affliction is being cancelled. The reason is that Venus and Mercury both are exchanging these houses. The exchange Rajyo is there. So Venus, debilitation of Venus is being cancelled. Mercury is action with Venus sign. So Venus debilitation cancelled, but Sun's debilitation is not being cancelled here. But Sun is here in the Libra sign. In Sun in the Libra sign is debilitated. Debilitation of Sun is there, but is being aspected by Saturn is aspecting this Libra sign. Now 10th aspect of Saturn. 10th aspect 7, 8, 9, 10th. So Saturn is aspecting Libra sign, 10th house. In the 10th house, when Saturn aspects 10th sign, this 10th house means Libra sign. In Libra sign, Saturn is exalted. Saturn is exalted. That means this exaltation planet is being aspect in this, so that cancellation of debilitation of sun is also there. Very positive, right? Because of this horoscope, now 10th house is being, even if there is negative thing, the negative thing is nowadays epidemic is running, but even then positive things are coming out from this horoscope, right? 10th house is showing some positive thing. Sun is being, debilitation is cancelled, and Venus and Mercury both are exchanging their houses, so exchange Raja there. 10th house is being improved upon. 10th house is showing some positive things because debilitation is being cancelled. And 10th house is aspected by Saturn also. This Libra sign is exalted. In exaltation sign for Saturn. This 10th house is being positively influenced, right? Because there are 4 positive things here. Saturn aspecting, Sun's debilitation is cancelled. Venus and Mercury both are exchanging their houses, exchange Raja with their 10th house is being affected because of luck, destiny sign, destiny house, because 9th house is destiny house. So Venus and Mercury both are, Mercury is aspecting the 9th house because it's own sign. Mercury is Cancer sign, Virgo sign. Kanya Rasi is aspected by Mercury also because Mercury is retrograde. Mercury is aspected Cancer, this Virgo sign, right? Kanya Rasi. Being aspected by Mercury also. Mercury is aspecting its own sign. Destiny is being very powerful. Destiny of India these days is very powerful. In this case, because of destiny, luck or destiny, people are, whatever problem will come, that problem will be overcome. Means disease will be won over or being liberated upon, right? The liberation from the epidemic is being there. So treatment, more people are being treated, more people are being cured, right? So the danger of this epidemic is being decreased. This house so I have mostly found that this Capricorn house, which Varamir took to describe India's position, is very much relevant. I have seen. After independence, this is also showing relevant because this affliction of all these Lagna Lord and all these things are showing that was migration. Because of the migration, number of people were killed in those days when Independence Day. And these days also people were migrated from one city to another city. Number of people were killed. Suffered lot of suffering was there. Number of people have killed also because of disease. But the disease formation, epidemic spread is due to that malefic affliction, malefic conjunction which I have shown in the entry of the COVID-19. Okay, to see my previous lecture series, third one, in which I have described in detail how would the entry, possibilities of entry of any epidemic, what is that condition of the planets are shown there. Now that condition is being improved upon. Okay, so the further improvement of this epidemic is being shown here, right? So this horoscope is showing a lot of strength here. Now in the 5th house, Rahu is exalted. 11th house, Ketu is exalted. So Rahu Ketu axis is also very influential here, right? The 5th house, whenever Rahu is here, it is very diplomatic. So India is very diplomatic these days because Rahu is in the 5th house. So the diplomacy is very diplomatic. So India is very diplomatic these days. Because of diplomacy, India has won over the enemy countries like China and Pakistan. India is here having winning power upon the enemies. So very diplomatic. Rahu is exalted in the 5th house these days. Very because of diplomacy. Now from this horoscope I can see that there is no any war with any country, but win over the countries there. Okay, win over the enemy countries, or the diplomacy is being shown by Rahu in the 5th house, exalted Rahu, right? If Rahu is exalted in the 5th house is for diplomacy, diplomatic. So very diplomatically, India will cross over this period, okay, will win over the enemies. Rahu is being exalted, right? So this is 5th house. So this is how Varamir has shown this Capricorn ascendant for India's description. India's conditions can be fully described because of the present day condition of the planets in the Capricorn horoscope. Horoscope with Capricorn ascendant, right? So Capricorn ascendant 10th sign is there. So here Saturn these days is in its own sign. In the Lagna ascendant. So ascendant is very strength, very powerful. India's power, condition is very powerful these days. Strength wise. We can say that powerful means strength wise. We cannot say that innocent people are being suffering because of disease and that is the problem. That problem already has occurred, but improvement is being shown in this horoscope. Reason is that the luck sign is very improved upon, so debilitation is cancelled. Own sign, Virgo is being aspected by Mercury in the 9th house. Okay, so 9th house is being aspected by Mercury in the own sign. That means the destiny is being powerful. Secondly, diplomacy is there, so India's winning power is promised here. Then Jupiter is aspecting the 7th house, 8th, 9th, and 9th aspect. The 8th house is also aspected by Jupiter. Now in this case, 8th house is actually hidden thing. So possibility of discovery or invention of, not discovery, but invention of any vaccine is possible, because this Jupiter is aspecting the Leo sign. Leo sign is friendly sign. Sun's sign, Leo sign is sun sign. Sun is owner of the Leo sign. And Leo sign is being asked by Jupiter. Jupiter is friendly to Sun. So this 8th house, Leo sign, is being aspected by Jupiter by 9th aspect. 9th drishti बोलते हैं इसे. नवी दृष्टि से Jupiter 8th house को देख रहा है. इस केस में ये 7th, 8th, 9th. So Leo sign is being aspected by Jupiter. So it means the 8th house, which is of hidden things can be shown, can come out. That is how invention of vaccine is possible. Okay, so this is how these days this is being invented upon. When Jupiter will remain here up to 21st of next month, sorry, 20th of next month, from 21st November it will come into the Lagna ascendant. So Jupiter, when will come in the Capricorn sign ascendant on 21st of next month, November, then also Jupiter is being positively connected with Saturn. Jupiter is debilitated, no doubt, but debilitation is being cancelled because Saturn is lord of his own sign, lord of the debilitation sign of Jupiter. That means debilitation will be cancelled. Jupiter will be exalted in this case. That exaltation results will be shown by Jupiter. The 12th house will be improved upon. Okay, very good sign for 12th house, and as well as for Pisces 3rd house. So lot of efforts will be done. And 9th house is means for foreign traveling, foreign things, foreign export, import, export, etc. will be improved upon. Lot of positive things are being shown with foreign countries. So positive result will be shown with the foreign countries, right? Because Jupiter will come in the ascendant. So the 12th house will be improved upon. Jupiter's cancellation of debilitation is going to give improvement of the 9th, of the 12th house as well as 3rd house, because Jupiter is lord of the 12th house as well as 3rd house. Pisces sign is lorded by Jupiter, and Sagittarius 9th house is 9th sign is lorded by Jupiter. That means 12th house and 3rd house will be improved upon. 3rd house is for efforts, for efforts, right? So whatever efforts will be done, lot of efforts will be done during that period. Okay, when Jupiter will come in the ascendant. And from ascendant, Jupiter will aspect the 5th house also. Rahu will be aspected by Jupiter. 7th house also, 7th house will be exalted. Okay, so that is also very good house, 7th house. I mean, for profession, for daily wages, etc. So daily workings or daily work will be improved upon for labor classes, for other people. People will get a lot of employment during that period, because of 7th house is being aspected by Jupiter with exaltation. Okay, Cancer sign, Jupiter is exalted. 7th house is being improved upon. 7th house was a small type of jobs or efforts, etc. So a lot of labors will come with a lot of jobs, etc. So jobs opportunity will be created here. So when Jupiter will come in the ascendant here. Okay, so this is how Capricorn ascendant shown by Varamir, and this horoscope is showing a lot of things here. Very positive things will happen because of this transit of the planets. Okay. Now in this case, period we cannot talk about. Only because of transit position of the planets in the Capricorn ascendant horoscope, we can show that what is the improvement being shown here. Only this kind of positive things regarding positive things about India's position are being shown by this Capricorn ascendant horoscope. Alright, and then what is the position here? Now Mars, when it will be direct, will come into Aries sign, then that affliction to the 2nd house here. Okay, and upon this 6th house will go. Why? Because from here Well, sorry, Mars will come here in the Aries, from Aries, 7th house will be aspected by Mars, because Mars will aspect his own sign, Scorpio. The Scorpio 7th house here also will be improved upon. That means Ketu will be aspected by Mars here. Mars, this is the own sign of Mars. Mars is Lord of the Scorpio sign, right? The 6th sign or Scorpio sign is being lorded by Mars. So Mars will aspect from here, from Aries, with 8th aspect, with this 8th sign. Okay, so this is also being improved upon. In this way, the position of the jobs, profession, etc. will be improved upon during this Mars, transit in this sign. When Mars will transit, 24th of December 2020. From 24th of December, Mars in Pisces, 25th December onwards. From 25th December 2020 to 21st February 2021. In that period, Mars will be in Aries sign direct. Okay. After that, it will become retrograde from 2022. No, not retrograde, direct. I think direct, and it will come to the next sign. Okay, because mostly Mars remains for 1 month in average 1 month in one sign. So up to that period, after that Mars will come in the Taurus sign. Okay. The Taurus sign is Lagna here with the Rahu, and problem may come, because when Mars will come here in the Taurus with Rahu here, some affliction will be there, some disease may be created. After February 21st of February, then 22nd February onwards, right, for 2 months, about 2 months, 2022, about 1.5 months, I think. But from 22 February 2021 to 13th of April, March April, 4th month, 2021. So Mars will remain in this Taurus sign. Okay, so Taurus sign, Mars will be in from 22nd February to 13th April 2021. So more than, 1 month. Right, 13 days and 8 days, so about 1.5 months. For 1.5 months, Mars will remain in that sign, in the Lagna here, with the Rahu. Rahu will be there in this sign, and Mars will come here. Rahu and Mars both are enemical. Lagna will be disturbed in between this, right, from February to that. But so far as disease is concerned, from this house of 6th house, 7th sign, Libra sign, will be aspected by Mars here. When Mars will aspect the 6th house, so this is enemical house for this, not enemical, but neutral house. So it's still complete improvement is not so, because this is not enemy but neutral. It's not enemy, not friend, but neutral, in between. It means not completely removed, still this disease will remain. Okay, complete removal is still not there, because Mars is aspect. When Mars will come here, then it will aspect the 7th house of its own. 6th house of disease will be removed. And we have to see the improvement, complete improvement.